everyone, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review, where it is time for an overland adventure. I've discovered roughly 30 miles of gravel road. I believe it's the Pisgah area, but I'm not sure about that 100%. Nonetheless, we will spend 2 days exploring that area, and I can't wait. Time-wise, it is almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm getting a late start. Originally, my plan was to leave quite a bit earlier, but I had a sheriff's deputy stop by the house, and that's because there's been some break-ins in the area, and they were looking for information. So I had some thoughts on this, which I shared with them. So hopefully it does some good. Right now, my plan is to head to the grocery store. I have my mask. I need some food. Let's do this. Listen to the purr of that V8. Woo! I love it. Anyways, I've been on the road for about an hour now. I'm almost to the grocery store that I want to hit, because it's not far from the beginning of the gravel road that I'm going on. But I tell you, everybody, it's getting dark out here. Looks like storms are on the way. And that doesn't really surprise me for this time of year. On average, we get around 100 inches of rain per year here. So basically that translates to rain every single day, or just about it. Everyone, I will be back in a minute. Woo! Thank God I could take that thing off now. For this trip, got some beer, got some breakfast food, some dinner, got some lunch, got some eggs. I'm set, or as set as I'm going to be for this trip. Even though it looks like rain is coming, it is a nice day. Right now, 73 degrees. Perfect. In my opinion, it's absolutely perfect for an overland adventure. Everybody, the adventure is on. I have maybe 10-15 miles on pavement before we hit gravel. I only have a very faint destination in mind. I did quite a bit of research before I left. I know that there's dispersed camping on this road, but how good are the campsites? I have no idea. Where they are, I'm not sure either. We are going to hit the gravel road and just go explore and see what we can find. And it may be one of those things where we find a campsite right off. That's fantastic, and we'll take it and do most of the miles tomorrow. Or we may do half and half, I don't know. It really is up in the air. As I've been going around these curves, some of the views are amazing. And you can see just like these white walls of rain coming this direction. So there's a good chance that today and tonight are going to be very wet. I brought a tarp with me, so if the location permits, I will set it up and maybe, hopefully, have a dry place to hang out tonight. But of course, anything is possible with an overland adventure, and you have to plan for it. You have to be prepared to be stuck inside of your vehicle for days sometimes. It happens. And in the end, I love it. I don't care if it rains, I don't care if it doesn't rain. Hopefully we'll get some good thunderstorms, that would be pretty cool. We will see what happens together. We are now on gravel, and the name of this road is Roseboro Road. Let's see where it goes. Let's go get lost, shall we? Tell you what, that is the best thing about overlanding. You don't really have to have a destination. Just pick a direction and go. Sometimes you find a campsite in a national forest. Sometimes you're sleeping at Walmart. I love it. Every single time it's an adventure, and there's no such thing as a bad adventure. So back there was Rattlesnake Cliff. There's a series of cliffs up on that mountain which we can't see right now. Are there rattlesnakes here? Yes, there are timber rattlesnakes in this area, along with lots of copperheads, so we do have to be careful on this adventure. So far, this is a pretty nice road. It looks like it's well maintained, it's not too washed out. There's a little bit of washboarding, but it's not bad. The one thing about this road is that it's so curvy. You really have to go slow, go wide, because you never know who's coming around the corner or how fast they're going. Out in the country, you always have to deal with that element, the redneck element. That's not a put down, it is what it is. Some people think the term redneck is a put down, and it's not. Now with that being said, oftentimes the redneck element is a wild bunch. So you just have to watch out for them. That's all. So I've come to campsite number 1 on this adventure, and it's not bad. The trees look good, it's fairly level. I'm not going to select this one, I'm going to keep going, it's too early. I think I could find better. I love coming out to these dispersed campsites. The only negative is basically all the people who come out here just throw garbage everywhere. Just like back there, there's a burnout mattress and plastic all over the place. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't matter where you go, you will always find garbage. It takes a certain type of person to just throw garbage all over the place. And I'm talking about a true lowlife. Those are the people that you really have to watch out for. Because it doesn't end there. If they're willing to do that, they're willing to do a lot more. So again, this goes back to personal protection. You do have to be careful, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, where you're going. Anyways, let's keep on going. Let's check out the next site. I'm not sure where the next site's at. We'll find out here in a minute, maybe. I might have another site here. Whoa. There's a shed over here. Posted private property. While very interesting, I don't want to be hanging out on someone's private property. Let's get in the truck and get out of here. What you hear there, if you hear anything at all, is the air compressor for this truck. Okay, get out of here without taking my mirror off. Woo, yeah. Nice and close. Wow. So this spot here is pretty sweet, actually. We have a good fire pit here. We have some firewood all over the place. The only thing, it's not very level. That is the only issue with this spot. That is something that I could correct with some rocks. And also, I could pull up, and that would make things a whole lot better. And I think that's what I will do. I'll go out, turn around, come back, park right here, and that should be good enough for me. I like this spot a lot. And where I parked the truck, it's as close to level as I can possibly get in the mountains. I'm hearing some thunder off in the distance. And because of that, I might as well go ahead and set up my tarp. As it stands right now, it is raining, everyone. Unfortunately, it's not cooling things off at all. It is insanely muggy. Super, super humid. And it might be one of those trips where it just rains all day. I can tell that it's rained pretty hard before I got here. Everything's soaking wet. The leaves are wet. It was heavy enough to penetrate the canopy. Right now, it is not. It's not that heavy. But it sounds like it's about to be. For me, everyone, it is coffee time, and I'm stoked. I'm using the Camp Lux outdoor stove. This is a dual fuel stove that runs on butane canisters like I put in there, and also propane. It comes with an attachment hose. This isn't your everyday coffee, this is cowboy coffee. And I'm going to make it strong. With this stove here, the quality of this is so-so. This is a pretty flimsy stove, and it's right in line with most of these stoves. I'm sure there's like 1 or 2 companies who make this design and they slap different logos on it for whatever company that's interested. It feels flimsy, but I've never had a problem, and I've used it time and time and time again. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Oh, man. That is good. It is awesome. It really is. So now that I have the coffee made, it's time for lunch. For lunch, I have some chicken Alfredo. Smells awesome. Now this is already cooked, so all that I need to do is just simply heat it up. Oh man. That looks good and smells fantastic. Heading off the mountains here, it's storming big time. Lots of thunder. How awesome is that? As for my camp, it's raining a little bit. It's like a drizzle, but it's not bad. The tarp's been keeping me dry, and that was a smart item to bring with me. Anytime that I go truck camping, car camping, I make sure to have a tarp. Bon appetit, everyone. Out of the pan, into the man. Whoa. A huge tree just fell in the forest. I mean, trees fall in the forest all the time, but I mean, there's not even a breeze right now. It's a little strange. It's a little strange. Talking more about the sheriff deputy who came by the house this morning. Because of the coronavirus and the loss of so many jobs, you can expect to see crime rising just about anywhere. And I've been talking with some of the viewers from all around the world who have begun experiencing the same thing. Without a doubt, it is a crazy time, an interesting point in history. You could see all that's taking place around the world, and I'm not just talking about the pandemic, but politically, geopolitically, and whatnot. It's really, really interesting. And that's about the nicest way that I can put it. With this channel, no religion, no politics. That's the policy. But my advice for everyone is to be prepared to guard and protect your own. Not only your belongings, but your life. Really, I shouldn't have to say that. It's a pretty common sense sort of thing. But anyways, folks, switching subjects. I love this spot. I'm tickled with it. Cheers, everyone. Life is good. Sitting in the forest with my pals, drinking a beer, having some good food, listening to it storm like crazy. I've used some hot water to clean up my pan and also to clean this up as well, because this makes an excellent plate. Now that it's done raining for a second, why don't we explore this campsite a little bit? Over here there seems to be a trail. Let's go check out where it goes. I expect that this trail goes down to a huge pile of toilet paper. If there's no toilet paper, I would be shocked. That's basically what I expected. There's toilet paper all over the place. Both sides of the trail. Yeah, it's everywhere. And unfortunately, that's pretty common with dispersed campsites. Seriously, I'm impressed that they weren't crapping in the middle of camp, because I've seen that before. I see lots of good firewood. The trail ends right here, maybe 200 feet from the campsite, something like that. In this area, I really have to be careful when it comes to copperheads and rattlesnakes. Because of all the dead leaves on the ground, it would be almost impossible to see them. All right, it is time to get the back of the truck ready for tonight. Now, what I have here are two boards that I have cut to size to fit here on the shelf where the arms of the bed are. And I can slide these all the way back. I have two of those. And they are multi-purpose. They make an excellent shelf for the inside of the truck, and also I can use them as a ramp to get my mowing gear and whatnot inside of the truck when I'm not overlanding. So, a few points to mention. With one of the shelves, it slides all the way to the back here, and I can put more gear on it when it's time to turn in. That way, I can easily sit up without busting my head on it. Next, this is my power solution for the back of the truck. On the inside, I call that the house battery, and that is running the refrigerator, the fridge. I am going to use this for my lights. I'm going to use this to charge my batteries, and I'm going to use it to run this fan. The key to comfortable camping in the summertime is airflow, and it doesn't matter if you're inside of your truck or in a tent. It's all about airflow, especially in hot environments, especially in humid environments. What's the easiest way to get airflow? A fan. So I can use my power solution here, run the fan all night long, and I will stay comfortable. That is especially important in a location like this where it's very hot, where it's very humid. Tonight especially, it will be important to have that airflow because it's so humid, and also it's pretty hot down here. It looks like the storms have moved on, the sun is out, and it is warming up. Let me tell you folks, that makes a world of difference. It really does. Now, I will move all of this when it's time for bed, so I don't have wires in my face or anything like that. But for now, perfect. The next thing that I have to think about is controlling the bugs. I have mesh screens here on the side, but I don't have a good solution for the back of the truck. And that is where this comes in. What I have here is a gigantic piece of mesh, which I could string up over the back side of the truck here. Let me tell you, it is hot. After those storms moved through, the temps went straight up into the 80s. I mean, it is hot. And humid on a level that I'm not accustomed to. It's funny, you drop down 2,000 feet in elevation and the difference is substantial It was like 70 degrees up on top of those mountains. And it was a little bit muggy, but not like this. I'm not sure what is about to happen. It's gotten dark, and it's also gotten very windy. I thought for a second there that a downpour was coming, but so far it hasn't hit. It's funny, sometimes when you're out in Mother Nature, it almost feels like she's playing a game with you. Like it's kind of raining, but not really. I was going to get the fire going, but now that I'm looking at the radar, I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Maybe I should wait until late tonight to get it going. As it stands right now, the rain has moved out, but there's this gigantic wave of severe storms heading this direction. Now, of course, they can fade, but then again, they could make it. They will probably be here within an hour and a half, something like that. We are that blue dot. The service out here is terrible, but I don't know what you saw. Maybe you didn't see anything. Either way, there are storms heading this way. So, do I get the fire going now, or do I wait? That's the question. I think I'm going to wait. There's no rush. And that means for now, I'm going to kick back and relax. All right. Cheers, my friends. Cheers. As you may be able to hear, it is raining once again. Big surprise, right? So I'm gonna start off with some spaghetti noodles. I've had a lot of noodles today, haven't I? That's all right. I'm bulking. Talking about bulking here for a second, I am someone whose weight fluctuates very easily. I really have to eat a lot to maintain my weight. With my diet and my workout program, I like to change things up ever so often. I have found that it's good to keep the body guessing. That way it doesn't plateau. Your body will become accustomed to the way that you eat and the way that you work out. So it's a good idea to mix things up. Now, for dinner, shrimp scampi. And it says this is shrimp in a blend of real butter, garlic, and seasoning. And I'm going to have that with pasta. And it sounds fantastic to me. Perfect. I've strained the water. Now I'm going to pour in just a little bit of olive oil. That'll stop the noodles from sticking. Oh my gosh, everybody. That smells so incredibly good. Wow. That is going to be amazing. I tell you, I am so glad that I brought all the firewood underneath this tarp. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a fire at all. All right, we are done. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Let me tell you, this looks awesome. And it looks like I got the balance right between noodles and shrimp. It's so easy to go overboard with the noodles. I mean, it's just like rice. Anytime that I go to make rice, I make like 3 times the amount that I personally need or want. So, here we go. That is amazing. Wow. I'll tell you what, everyone. If you like shrimp and noodles, that is worth making. As far as the weather goes, it's fantastic. It is absolutely fantastic. While I was walking around here taking some pictures, I was thinking how lucky I am to live in this area. I love the mountains. I really do. I love the life that comes with living in the middle of nowhere. You know what I mean? Yes, there's not much to do as far as like going to stores or even pre-planned activities. And when I say that, I'm talking about like amusement parks and stuff like that. Here where I live, you have to create your own fun. And I tell you, I love it. I do. Now, of course, living out in the middle of nowhere, there are some cons. First off, a working wage is quite a bit lower than your national average. The cost of living can be higher. There's less to do, but at the same time, there's definitely more to do. Now that is a fire right there. I decided just to go ahead, fire up the fire here, and just enjoy it as long as I can. I looked at the radar, and it shows more rain and storms coming in later on tonight. Even 15 minutes in front of the fire does the soul some good. So I will enjoy this as long as I have it. Listen to the whippoorwills. Whippoorwill, whippoorwill. And then it stops as soon as I do it. As far as future adventures go, I talked in a previous episode about heading out west, and I still may do that. But then again, with the coronavirus, here in North Carolina, it is spiking big time. And there's a lot of states, or at least some states, that if you're from North Carolina, you have to quarantine for 14 days. So I don't know what is possible and what isn't at the moment. It may be one of those years where I stay in state instead of having a big adventure, but we shall see, folks, we shall see. Let me tell you, this fire feels amazing. Now that it's rained, it's cooled everything off. It's still a little bit muggy, but it's not too bad. As you can see, it's a pretty good sized fire too. I decided just to throw it on there, man. Let's enjoy this while we can before the rain kicks in again. One last beer as well. And folks, as far as the plan goes for tonight, this is about it. Just sit around the fire, enjoy. And in the morning, we'll get up, have breakfast, coffee, and we will keep on exploring this road. Now, to be honest, I have thought about not exploring the rest of this road so that we can come back and explore it in a future episode. In truth, we've only begun to scratch the surface of the Roseboro area, and I could see coming back here quite a few times, hitting up different sites, and sharing lots of adventures with you all. I turned in just in the nick of time because it's about to start raining. And it looks like there's some storms behind it that will hit later on tonight. So it has been one rainy day. There's no doubt about that. Well, folks, I am going to call it a night. I'm done for the day. It's been a long day. Ah, it's raining out there. It's coming down pretty good, too. I have a couple of movies on my phone that I'm going to watch. And you never know. It might storm later. And that would be all right with me. It's been a good day. I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. So, good night for now. All right. Good morning, everybody. Oh, man. Good morning. I tell you what, it was a good night. Without a doubt, I slept good. The rain helped a lot, and that fan helped a lot. I stayed cool, comfortable, good airflow. Nothing's damp in here. No condensation. Yeah. It was a good night. The sun is coming up, but the sky's cloudy, so it's not very light out. I've been trying to pull up the radar, but it's not really working. There's no telling what is headed our way. When it comes to that road, it was quiet last night. One vehicle came through this morning around like 5 o'clock or so, but outside of that, absolutely quiet. Surprisingly quiet. I tell you what, everyone, while cowboy coffee is the best, sometimes you just want coffee very quickly, like right now. With cowboy coffee, it takes a long time. And to be honest, I'm ready to move on. Already this morning, it's warming up. It is hot and steamy. I would say the temps are mid-70s, humidity 100%, and it won't be long before it's in the 80s here. It's time for breakfast. First, I need some more of this. Oh yeah, that is good. Now before I end this episode, I will take you all to the back of the truck. I want to show you all how to waterproof your camper top, just in case you have some leakage. When I bought this truck, the camper leaked like crazy, and I came up with a good solution to solve it. I will tell you all more about that in just a minute, but for now, it's breakfast time. That looks and smells awesome. So I have some scramble with potatoes, cheese, bacon, and I also have a scrambled sandwich. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. I've mentioned this in a previous episode, but I don't remember which one. But if you need to focus your breath in a very strong centralized beam, you could take your fingers and put them together like this and blow. And you can also just move your fingers and you can shift the direction. It works very, very well. If you don't have a pocket bellows or anything like that, it's a good substitute. Before I leave, I want to show you all the solution that I came up with. I used a product that is referred to as RV tape or RV putty, and this stuff worked incredibly well, and it solved all of my issues. I used that tape to seal up every hole, every seam, that way bugs can't get in, and also no water can ingress inside of the bed here. I did that as soon as I purchased this truck, and I didn't have to remove the shell. This Tundra is a 2011, and the seal, the gasket, is getting pretty old, so it does need to be replaced. But this was a quick, easy fix that will last a very long time. So if you have any issues, look that stuff up. It works great. Points to mention. I'm going back the way I came because I want to continue exploring this area at a later date. We are going to do at least one more overnight adventure out here. There's a lot of area to explore, and I want to explore it with you all. Next up, I completely forgot to record this trek, so the next time I come out here, I'll track the road and mark all the waypoints for my Patreon peeps. I tell you what, everybody, this has been an awesome trip. It's been exactly what I've been needing. And also, it's been a good break for my knees. They're still giving me some issues. I tell you what, you spend your entire life pushing it as hard as you can, and you do pay the price. Not complaining though, it is what it is. Overall, this road, again, this is called Roseboro. Pretty good, actually. There's a lot of cars out here, and I've seen absolutely nothing that I would consider to be too rough for a small vehicle. During the daytime, it's a busy little area. So busy, in fact, that I haven't been able to film very much driving. I like to do that, but I mean, it's stop and go, and you're having to constantly explain to people what you're doing. Some people think that you left your camera behind and they try to go get it for you. It's crazy. So, I tell you what though, there are good people out there, there's no doubt about it. As far as the next adventure, I believe that will be an overnight with Susie, and Susie only. She's going out for another solo trip. And then after that, I will either do another overland trip down here or a 2-day backpacking trip. We will see what comes first. I have no idea. But I want to thank you all very much for joining me for this trip. This has been a ton of fun. If you all have any questions about anything that you've seen or anything that I did in this video, shoot me an email. Oftentimes when you're watching a video, you can't tell why someone is doing something the way that they are. A good example of this is when practicing bushcraft. Oftentimes people don't understand why I use a certain type of lashing or a certain method, and then they will suggest something that wouldn't work. And it's not because they don't know what they're doing, but they can't see all the parameters because of the view of the camera. So yeah, if you have a question, shoot me an email. I'm happy to help. I want to wish you all a great day. Keep your heads up. I know we're living in strange times. Strength and honor. Be good, be kind. My name is Luke. This is the Outdoor Gear Review, signing off. See ya.